Hi guys. Okay, so the reason why I've decided to do this video is I feel like there are so many sort of like subjects of taboo within our community, within our religion even. No one wants to talk about them. They happen and everyone wants to just turn a blind eye to them, and what happens with that is like so many girls, like they make so many like mistakes and big mistakes as well, and all the only sort of response our community have towards it is just hush it, and I just think that's so wrong. I think, yeah, it might not be the best topic to talk about, but I'd rather talk about it. I'd rather put my experiences out there so that people can learn from them and girls don't make mistakes. Because it's not about making mistakes, because mistakes can be fatal. Okay, so the title of the video is How to Make a Guy Obsessed with You. And that is eventually what you, if you follow what I'm about to tell you, that is eventually what you will get. I promise you. It's tried and tested many times. Albeit with me, it's just probably the wrong guy, or it's because I attract the wrong guy, and then I'm like, bye, and then they become obsessed at that stage, and it's just like, it might not be the right guy who will be obsessed with you, rest assured. But no, honestly, I'm sure not. I know, I'm sure everyone's actually like me and we all attract the wrong kind of guy, but yeah, this is how to deal with the wrong kind of guy. Okay, so I've just sort of kind of like tried to make this as short, because I know people don't like long videos, but I've tried to make this as short as possible, and I promise you these are foolproof. If you stick to them, and honestly stick to them, I promise you, you'll have them wrapped around your finger, and more important than that, by the way, this isn't to make a guy obsessed with you. This isn't to make a guy obsessed with you so that he doesn't screw you over, and that you minimize your haram within this relationship. Because whether you like it or not, I don't care if people are going to have an issue with this video about thinking that I'm like promoting relationships. I'm not. But I'm not going to be an idiot and pretend they don't happen, because they do. I'd rather advise those that are in relationships or those that are pursuing relationships how to deal with girls, how to deal with them. You know, maybe guys can learn something, I don't know. But how to deal with them in a way that they don't make any mistakes that literally could be so life destroying for them. You know, that they can't come out of like mistakes like that. I'm sure you guys know what kind of mistakes I'm talking about. Okay. Let's go with number one. Numero uno. Okay. Trust your intuition and your instincts. If something feels wrong, chances are that it is. So do not ignore it. Now, I'm not saying kick back at this point and just say like, that's it, it's all over. But always have that in your mind. Like, just be ready and prepare yourself. So, oh my god, what just happened? What just happened? Prepare yourself to find out something that you, oh, I'm so bad. To find out something that you don't want to find out. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's, look, literally 10 out of 10 times when I've had an instinct about someone, or intuition about someone, intuition, I don't know. I'm gonna Google this afterwards, and I'm gonna find out one of these words was wrong, and it's like out of context here. But anyway, trust your instincts, okay? So, example, I've spoken to like types of random guys here and there where I've had a bad feeling. They've turned out to be married, like 2 or 3 of them married. They've turned out to not be serious at all, despite them saying they were serious. Like, and that's literally just going off instinct. Just instinct. This is not even like solid evidence, but it later materialized, not later, like after like a month or so, it materialized that actually this wasn't going anywhere. So trust your instincts 100%. I promise you, your instincts will always be right. Okay, next one, number 2. Okay, so I'm gonna get bashed for this, but I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I really don't care. I stand by it. Do not talk, and I'm talking about early stages when you're getting to know a guy. Do not just talk to one guy. If you talk to one guy, all your energy, all your time is going to be invested in this one guy. He's gonna have the upper hand. He's gonna then treat you like shit. I'll tell you what guys do. What they do is they give you a ridiculous amount of love and affection in the first week or 2, or even the first month. Then the minute they get you hooked, and obviously you're going to be hooked because you're like, oh my god, like it's so soon, like how can they feel this way about me, how can they do all of this to me, like how can they feel like and say these things to me when it's just literally been a week, it's just been 2 weeks, it's just been 3 weeks, this must be something special. That's what you start to think. Then there reaches this point where they kick back and they're not that interested anymore, or like they act like they're not that interested anymore, and that's it, it's not as amazing as it was before. At this point things flip over for you and your world gets turned upside down, and what happens is you start to think, what did I do that made them change? Like, was it something that I said? Was it something that I did? Like, that is what happens, and that thought is what keeps you hooked on them, because you always will constantly feel insecure and like you're not good enough for that person. And that's what they do. So smart. Anyway, don't just talk to one guy, because what will happen is you're going to invest all your energy in this person, all your time. You're going to be literally waiting on their beck and call, waiting for them to reply. And when they don't reply, when they reply late, it's going to affect you. It's going to upset you. Whereas if you're talking to a couple of guys, and I'm talking about very, very, very sort of early stages, just getting to know people, like literally you could kind of say friends, because you always have to get to know someone as friends before. When you're in that stage of getting to know a guy, get to know a couple. That way, your attention is divided amongst them. When they don't feel, guys sense these things, when they don't feel like they have your full attention, they start to kind of want it more. They start to kind of like work harder to get your attention. Let it be that way. Don't let it be the other way around. Because the other way around, the minute the guys feel they have you, that's when the douchebaggery begins. Do not ignore red flags. If this guy that you're talking to doesn't want to be seen in public with you, red flag. If this guy just messages you mainly on social media, red flag. If this guy is calling you with private number, red flag. And at certain times of the day, red flag. If he's only messaging you at night time, red flag. These are all red flags that you cannot ignore. They generally mean there's another girl, there's a wife even, that this means like this person is not really, he thinks you're a psycho, but he wants to mess around with you. And he wants to get what he can, but he wants to be able to cut and not have you ruin his life, kind of thing. Am I on the fourth one? Oh no. Don't blind yourself by making excuses. Do not make excuses. If a guy does not message you for the entire day and then comes back and messages you and says, I'm so sorry, I was really busy, I missed you so much, blah, 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 blah. Don't sit there and say, and actually believe the lie that you're telling yourself, oh, maybe he was really busy. No. No guy is too busy. No guy. I'm sorry. I don't care. Yes, they might be busy and they might not message you as much, but to not message you for an entire day and then say, oh, it's because I was busy. Just think, look, this goes back to instinct. If something doesn't feel right, it's not. It's 100% not. If there's something inside you that makes you feel like insecure towards this guy, in that you don't feel like he's trying to contact you, like he has the time to call you, but he doesn't, do not ignore that, 100%. Okay. Final one before I move to the final point is, don't expect less than what you actually want. So if you want a guy who always sort of spoils you, always spends on you, always sort of takes you out and like treats you like amazing, like don't sit there and make like sacrifices on that for another guy, because you're kind of lowering from like your own like standards to this guy. Like when he says, oh yeah, let's just go, you know, shisha, or let's just go chicken cottage, like, and you're agreeing to it, it's kind of setting the tone for the relationship. It's like, oh okay, like this girl's cool with anything, I can literally put her through shit and this girl's gonna like take it, it's cool. So don't do that. Like I learned that the hard way. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna be easygoing. I'm like, I don't care. Like, it's cool, I'll talk to like this guy, whatever, even if like, you know, we'll go to like say shisha or something. Oh my god, the worst ever idea is to go shisha for a date. Don't do that. That's somewhere you go with your friends if you go. If you don't go, great, don't go. But if you go to shisha, go with your friends, not with someone who you're thinking about marrying. Like, don't do that. But yeah, so I used to think, you know, I don't want to be difficult. I want to be easygoing. I want to show how easygoing I am, because that will in turn show how easygoing I will be in a marriage. Big mistake. Don't do that. Okay, so The minute you spot any of these signs that I've just told you, this is a time that you need to cut cold turkey. And when I say to cut cold turkey as difficult as it is, you have to do it. But I promise you, the minute you do it, and you do it full-heartedly, like this person, block every single part of them. Like, first of all, if it's not that bad, if it's not ending on an argument and you just kind of notice these things, you kind of cut off and not give them any attention, not make time to see them, and always be busy, can't see them, can't talk to them, constantly busy until you cut off and you stop replying. I promise you, the minute you cut off from this person, and when I say cut off, I mean your heart is not in it anymore. Because guys, again, they sense that. When your heart is still in it, if you're acting like you're over this person, that guy senses it, and he won't ever come back if he was ever willing to come back. When you're truly starting to think, you know what, you cut him out, you know, I'm not going to go back to that, I'm no way going to go back to that. You cut that as if to remove that option from your life. That is no longer an option for you. The minute you are, and you start to get to know other people, the minute that process is happening, I promise you that guy will 100% try and come back. I've had this with so many, like, you know, after my husband passed away, I didn't really, obviously nothing happened for a very long time, but eventually you kind of get to this point where you just want to talk to someone, like, you get to know people, and you know, people come, people go, and being a divorced woman, as bad as it is, I was previously divorced and now I'm widowed and I have a child. The attention that's going to come my way is always going to be, you know, 9 times out of 10 is going to be for the wrong intentions. Like someone who just wants, I'm not even going to sugarcoat this, side chick. That's basically the kind of attention that I get a lot of. And the ones that want to marry me, they're just not what I would consider to be my husband. I'm thinking, you friend, you. Anyway, but yeah, so unfortunately that's what happens, that's what comes your way, and you need to be able, what was I saying, what was the point that I was trying to make with that point? Oh, it would have helped if I had slept today. Oh yes, this has happened to me quite a few times, and then I kind of, the way that I do things is early on, I start to push from this, if I have any negative feeling, any sort of instinct within me that this person is not fully honest, this person has some baggage of some sort that I don't know about. When I say baggage, I don't mean children things. I mean a baggage in that he's not faithful, he's not loyal, he's not serious. These kind of baggages, like emotional baggages, the minute I start to kind of destroy the relationship and the getting to know process, and I kind of like push it out there, and I kind of push and push and push and push and push until they have enough and they're like, you know what, screw it, I was not serious, okay, you're right, I'm not serious, and then they kind of just hurry along off. That's happened to me quite a few times. But what ends up happening is when that happens, I cut fully and I move on fully. When I say move on, I mean get the person out of my head, not necessarily move on and start talking to someone, but just completely get that. These people have constantly, and so many of them have constantly come back, even up to a year after I've stopped talking to them, constantly coming back, literally bypassing blockages, like to this level, like, and not just once or twice, like several times. I block, I delete every single, like, these people, like, it's not even like fun, like it's actually kind of like freaky, like psychotic. Some of these people, they know my every move, they know exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing. A year after I stopped talking to them, and it's just like, how do these people know? And they've become literally psychotic and obsessed. They can't deal with the fact that you don't want to talk to them anymore. That's all it is. But anyway, my point, I hope you guys understand the point of this video, it isn't to make a guy obsessed with you, it's actually to kind of fight back at, and for the purposes of this video, because we don't want to swear again, it's like I've been calling them this like it's all week. Fight back against duck boys. Duck, like quack quack boys. If you don't know what they are, you're lucky. If you know what I mean, then you'll understand. But but this is the way that you can counter their effects, because you know what, it happens so often. I see it literally through my friends, I see it through like so many people. Like I get questions on this kind of stuff like daily on Snapchat and Instagram. People just like want advice on how to deal with, like, you know, guys that they're talking to. And it's so sad to see, like, and I've seen like stories that I've seen, like, that I've heard, that I've been sent, they go beyond that. They're not even like, they're like, this person has ended up sleeping with this person, has broken their virginity, like, and this is happening. The purpose of this video is purely to stop it before it gets to that stage, to allow you to leave before it gets to that stage. Because I'm sorry, whether people like me talking about the subject or not, whether you're watching this thinking, why is she sat here talking about relationship, opening the eyes of people that don't, mate, if someone's on YouTube, their eyes are already open, let me tell you. But this video is for people who are prone to going into relationships, whether it's haram or not. Like, you can't sit here and say, oh, it's haram, therefore we don't need to. No, we need to talk about it. We need to make sure our girls do not make these mistakes, do not fall in these traps, because men are douchebags. Whether you like it or not, 99% of men are douchebags. If you found that 1%, excellent, amazing. But they're douchebags, and it's not like, oh yeah, leave all men and like turn let's be honest. It's not like that. It's, you need to learn and know how to deal with men. Alhamdulillah, shukr, I've had 2 people that I've gotten to know that have turned into husbands. My first husband and my second husband. So I know what I'm talking about and how to kind of move it from sort of the, say, so to speak, non-halal relationship to a halal relationship. And that's pretty much what every girl wants when she's getting to know a guy, is for it to turn into a marriage. So having the experience of 2 turned into marriage, I think I'm in a position where I can maybe shed some light and advice to younger girls. But yeah, I don't know if I've covered everything here. I hope I have. If I have, great. If I haven't, like, send me messages and comments. Maybe I can do it on the video. I don't know. But yeah, I hope this video has helped, and I hope people are kind of smart enough to kind of see the point of this video. I mean, you know, like, brushing things under the carpet doesn't make, just because something's haram and brushing it under the carpet doesn't remove the problem of it. The problem is very much there, and the problem even more so is that girls don't have anyone to talk to, because they can't talk to their parents about it. Can't be like, oh mom, I'm talking to this guy and he's doing this, and their parents can advise them, this guy is a duck boy, stay away. It's not going to happen. So they end up turning to their friends who might be inexperienced, they might end up turning to, like, other people, or even worse still, they might end up not turning to anyone, having just to deal with this duck boy on their own, and then make a mistake with this duck boy, and a mistake that's irreversible, that's puts them in such a weak position that literally they might put up with all the shit in the world with this duck boy just because they're scared they'll leave them. Because if they leave them, how are they going to explain the mistake that's happened? I mean, that's like without going into too much detail, but yeah. So yeah, that's it. I said yeah like 300 times, but yeah, that's it, done. If there's anything that I haven't sort of covered, then do let me know and I will try and cover it. But yeah, I hope this video helps. This is different from what I normally do, but I just thought I had to do it, especially like in light of like recent events happening in my life. Similar events, but I thought I had to do this for you, for young girls, and because I have received these messages so often about this very, very topic, so I thought, yeah, why not? Hope you enjoyed it. Bye guys.